Hello Noddies. In our previous video, we designed the D flip-flop from scratch. If you haven't watched it yet, click the I button on the top right corner because today's circuit directly uses that D flip-flop. Today, we will build an asynchronous up counter and down counter using two different approaches. First using the D flip-flop and then converting the D flip-flop into a T flip-flop. We would simulate the up counter in this video and I would like all of you to try implementing the down counter yourself as a small challenge. And there is another interesting thing you will notice during the simulation. Apart from counting, the circuit also acts as a frequency divider. We will see how every flip-flop divides the clock frequency by 2. Before designing the circuit, let's first understand what we want. On the left side is the up counter. Notice how the count increases from 000 to 001 till 111. And on the right side is the down counter. It does exactly opposite. It starts with 111 and ends with 000. So now that we know the expected output, let's design the hardware. First, let's use only the positive edge trigger D flip-flop. To make the D flip-flop behave like a toggle flip-flop, we simply connect the Q bar to the D, such that every positive clock edge causes the output to toggle. For an up counter, each stage is clocked using the Q bar output of the previous stage. And for a down counter, each stage is clocked using the Q output instead. That small wiring change completely reverses the counting direction. We will simulate the up counter today and I encourage all of you to implement and simulate the down counter on your own. So this is the relatch circuit from our previous video. Here in our previous video I used NAND gate and in order to reduce the number of transistors I am going for the NOT gate here. And similarly for the D flip-flop, for the same reason to reduce the number of transistors, here I have replaced the NAND gate with the NOT gate. Now let's try to simulate the up counter. So this is the final circuit and here from this you could see I have gave the period as 10 microsecond and pulse width as 5 microsecond. Check and save, launch, ADL, choose your analysis as trans and here I am giving my stop time to be 200 micro. Click OK and here I am selecting my clock and all the 3-bit output and the simulation. Here for easy understanding let's take this part alone. Here from this you can notice the output is 000 and it increases to 001 and it goes till 111. Here our up counter is working perfectly and also this also acts as our frequency divider. Here from this you can see when we have two complete clock pulse, we only have one clock pulse after the first D flip-flop. And when this first D flip-flop completes two clock pulse, the second flip-flop completes the first clock pulse. Here our input frequency is divided by 2 on the first D flip-flop output and it is divided by 4 on the second D flip-flop output and it is divided by 8 on the third flip-flop output and it goes on. So here from this same circuit we have derived both the up counter and frequency divider. Now let's see something interesting. Instead of permanently connecting D to Q bar, we can convert the D flip-flop into a T flip-flop. Here we can simply replace an XOR gate at the input and the equation becomes D is equal to T XOR Q. And let's just verify it using the truth table. Here when the T is 0, the output doesn't change. It is same as the Q, but when the T is given as 1, the output is just inverse of the Q, and that's exactly the behavior of a T flip-flop. Now you might wonder where this XOR comes from. We can implement it directly using the CMOS transistor or even build it entirely using the NAND gate that we derived in the previous video. Here, in order to reduce the number of transistors that I am using, I am going for transistor level implementation because here we only want 8 transistors in total, whereas if I want to implement it using the NAND gate, each NAND gate has 4 transistors in it. So it would take double the times of transistors when compared to the transistor level implementation. So once when we have a T flip-flop, the counter becomes even simple. We permanently keep the T is equal to 1. So every clock edge toggles the flip-flop. The clock connections remains exactly the same. For up counter, connect the next clock using the Q bar and for the down counter, connect it using Q. And again, the only difference between the up and down counting is which input drives the next stage. We will simulate the up counter and I would like you to complete the down counter as practice. So here this is my XOR gate circuit which I am going to use to convert my D flip-flop into a T flip-flop. I can simply go to create cell view and create a cell view for this transistor dimension. If you want to know how to convert this transistor level into a cell view, please watch our previous D flip-flop video. So this is my final T flip-flop circuit and here I have connected the T with 1 volt for all the T flip-flop. Here the clock is fixed to be 10 microsecond for the period and 5 microsecond for the pulse width. Now check and save. Here you can just ignore the warning. The warning is because of the unconnected pin here. Launch ADL. Choose your analysis as trans and give the stop time as 200 micro. Click OK. Now I am choosing my clock pin and my output pins and run your simulation. Here from this graph we can clearly see the output starts from 000, goes to 001 and it ends at 111 and it starts its cycle again. And also the T flip-flop can also be used as frequency divider. And that's all for today's video, Noddies. So in today's video, we learned two different ways of designing an asynchronous counter. First using D flip-flop and then by converting a D flip-flop into a T flip-flop. We also saw how a simple change in the clock connection changes an up counter into a down counter. And finally, we observed another important application. The same circuit also acts as a frequency divider where each stages divide the frequency by 2, producing f by 2, f by 4, f by 8 and so on. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And don't forget today's challenge too. Simulate the down counter yourself and let us know in the comments if you got it working. So until then, keep learning, keep building and keep simulating.